Sneak dissing, we don't see the competition. I drop off a ransom note that your art is missing, nigga.
Pay us in full with the money, or she gon' get her fingers clipped off like Lil Sonny,
MREC TV.
Yo, we always gonna be best friends, man.
How you feeling?
Yeah, nigga, that's how I feel.
Alright, man, drop your location, man.
Hey, homie, where you at, man? Drop that location, man. I'm about to pull up on you. Drop my location? Nigga, I'm about to send my addy right now, nigga. I'm about to... Alright, pull up.
What up, world? Welcome to the Unsung Heroes, man. I'll be the boy DJ Moschino, aka the Sugar Cut King, alongside with my main man, DJ Superior. You know what I'm saying? We live broadcasting on MREC TV.
Easy. What's happening, man? What's up, world? Thank y'all for having me. Peace and blessings, everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you for tuning in.
Now, you in the studio with Nas, and you said yo was talking about Interscope possibly buying him out his Sony Columbia contract, right? Correct?
Absolutely.
Did he express to you entertaining those deals?
Pretty much what he was saying was that he had a meeting, I believe, with Jimmy Iovine at that time. I don't know if Ted Fields, who was Jimmy Iovine's partner, was still around. Ted Fields went on to get into the film industry, you know, after the success of like a lot of the stuff with Dre and Snoop and all of that. And I do remember him just saying he had a meeting with them and he was just kind of like blown away at the fact that they were in the space they were in, having earned like almost 400 million, if not more, in success up to that point. And they were having a meeting and having a conversation about it. And I just remember him saying to me, what do I say to somebody that's just worth 400 million? I remember him saying that to me. You know, I couldn't answer that. I couldn't answer that.
And he also said to you he couldn't understand why Tupac didn't like him, right?
Yeah. I remember he was just like, you know, he just didn't, because we watched the documentary, the DVD, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I saw how intrigued he was by the documentary, so I gave him a copy of the DVD I have. I was just like, yo, keep it, you know what I'm saying? He was like, good looking. And you know, I remember saying, you know, he didn't get it, why they didn't get along, you know what I'm saying?
So Paul, was this around the time they had the meeting at Bryant Park with Tupac and
It was
Nas?
definitely way before.
Oh, way before that. Okay.
That happened way before, because Stillmatic was like, we're talking like 2001. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This was after Jay came out in 2000, you know, after 9/11 and all of that. The stuff with Pac was when he was still alive, of course. You know, Pac passed in like 96, so way before. But the conversation got rehashed because, again, I had that DVD, that documentary in the session, and, you know, on some downtime, I remember we watched some of it, you know, and then I just gave it to him. That was just my fond memory of the times we kicked it at the studio. You know what I'm saying? So it was just in subtle talk. It wasn't like a whole in-depth conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? He just was just like mentioning it, kind of like, you know what I mean?
Got you. Now, did you work with Nas after that?
Actually, yeah, I did a song with him and AZ called The Essence.
Essence.
That was on the Asiatic album. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AZ, shout out to Nas once again. And funny backstory to that was riding off the success of Stillmatic, end of 2001, going into the new year, winter season. Nas did the Stillmatic tour, all that. I gave the beat. Originally, I shot the beat to Rockefeller. This is the true story, right? And got in the hands of Memphis Bleak, but he passed on it because he said the beat was too slow. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to Damian Blyden, who was a A&R at the time at Motown Records, one of my mentors. He put it in the hands of AZ, and they used it, and he called Nas in to jump on the vocals. It was recorded at Sugar Hill Studios in New Jersey. And I'm gonna share something about that too. But it was recorded at Sugar Hill Studios in New Jersey, and this was right around Super Bowl weekend 2002. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even mixed yet, just the reference with their vocals, and somehow I don't know who leaked it, but it got in the hands of DJ Clue, and he played it on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Clue gonna do that
Nas and
anyway.
AZ. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it didn't even have a title yet. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what Clue do.
Months later, I mixed the record, and it was like actually the last song that was made for the record right before it came out in June of 2002. And not long after I mixed the record, Sugar Hill Studios burned down.
Wow.
That's a fact.
Damn.
That's a fact. You could Google that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, now that record, how that hook go on that record? Because I'll be getting that record.
A hard head, just like a Macho Vargas. Who's the target?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my
Watch
joint
how
right
we
there.
close the market. Hard
That's
head,
Sophie
just like
sample
Hagler and
is
Hearns. At the math, be concerned. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy.
Burn, like something like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you now. Let's go into the making of that record, because actually you went into the making of Destroy and Rebuild. But let's go into the making of The Essence with Nas and AZ.
For sure.
Now,
so
let's go. Now,
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now,
I was going to say
I
something.
wanted to let's take it from the equipment you use, and from the sample to the drum to the bass line to the chops. Let's go into all that.
Say less. So I sampled Mary Jane Girl song called Musical Love. It's on the same album as All Night Long, which is a legendary classic song produced by Rick James. Here's an interesting part of this that I'm about to share with y'all. So I'm gonna get into the technical part, but I want to share this part about the sample. The best part about this record was that I sampled it from a Motown release. The Motown Records owns the masters. This is a Rick James produced record on Motown with the Mary Jane Girls from the time they were signed there years before. And at that time, AZ was signed to Motown. So the best part about this record was I didn't have to clear the master. Because the master was already owned by Motown, being released on Motown. I only had to clear the publishing, which went to Rick James' estate because he wrote the record. You know what I'm saying?
How much?
Rest in peace to Rick James. I'm not sure what the percentage was. I know it was more than 70%. Yeah, because me and AZ had to split 30%.
70%.
Yeah, I think it was in the ballpark of 70% because me and AZ had to. You know what I'm saying? I went through that one other time, a record I produced on Fat Joe's album, Don Cartagena featuring Pun, and I used "Don't You Know That" by.
What song was that?
That was called My World, featuring Big Pun. My life, my money, my world, my girls. TS Electric out of sky like the third rail. It's on the Don Cartagena album. Same album we had that song with Puff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but hold on. Before you go into that,
but
I wanted to get into more of the Essence record. You know what I'm saying?
So with the Essence, I used a Musical Love by Mary Jane Girls. I did that on the MPC 2000. The drums, I actually used that same kick drum from the Destroying Bill, same kick. You know what I'm saying? But the snare,
it was drum from where?
From Destroying Rebuild, the same kick drum in the drum beat. And then the snare was like a stacked snare, like a clap snare and a layered two snares stacked together. And I layered it in the drum machine on MPC 2000, and I programmed it, played the bass on the keyboard so that way it moves with the sample. You know what I'm saying? And another funny story is that when I finished making the beat, you know, back then producers had DAT machines. Remember DAT machines, digital audio tapes?
I still got them.
Yeah. So when I was saving the beat, I'm running it through the drum machine and playing it back and recording it on a DAT tape. I was on the phone talking to somebody, and I hit play on the drum machine to record it into the DAT, hit record, and I'm on the phone, and I'm looking, and I didn't see the meters running on the DAT tape. So I'm like, oh shit, the levels ain't up to record it. So I got off the phone and I just turned it up real slow, like the record level. So if you notice, the beat fades in on that song.
Yeah.
That's literally how the beat was demoed. So when I tracked it, hold on. So check this out. So when I tracked the beat, when I was coming to track the beat, there was like I got to track it out because it doesn't have a start point. You know what I'm saying? It was just a fade in as a reference to listen to the beat. It's like, nah, that shit hot. Leave it like that. So if you notice, the beat fades in. Then you hear Nas say, "Hey, yo, God." You know what I'm saying? And then the record starts. That's literally, they just copied what I did by accidentally recording the beat on the DAT without it having a start point. Because I had a whole start point to the beat.
Got you. Yeah. Now, I gotta say this. I gotta say this because this is something that homies in the street be saying, and the industry, and you can shut it down. and we can start with that record. The streets be saying every record that Nas and AZ do, AZ always get Nas on it. Like AZ always upper hand. Do you agree with that? Even with the Essence record. Like, let's go into that.
I'm glad you said that because I like you know, one of the things I learned from Smith and Wesson is how they would do individual verses, then they do the back and forth.
Yes.
And I like that they took my song to do that. You know what I'm saying? The back and forth. So to me, the Essence, I never heard anyone outshine each other on the record. That's just me being honest. But there's other records I've heard, like, you know, I love A's verse on the Flyers on Stillmatic.
Oh,
yeah. Flyers, he was a monster on that record.
Yeah.
So that's arguably like who had a better verse right there, for example. And then was it a song they did back in the days produced by Buck Wild, How You Living? Was
How
that
You Living? Yeah, that was fire.
A's
that
verse
was
on that was crazy.
Yeah.
A's verse on that was crazy. You know, I've always heard the arguments about that. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. Yeah, I heard that feedback
that
too.
was
I know where it came from. But I feel like my song led to an opportunity, Quiet as Kept, for them to do a duet album that back then, but the labels didn't want to do it. Because the song got a Grammy nomination. My song got a Grammy nomination. It was probably both their first Grammy nominations. I don't know if Nas ever got a Grammy nomination. He's got a bunch now and Grammys now, but back then, we're talking about 2002. I don't know if he had any Grammy nominations for any previously released records. I could be wrong.
Only the record with Lauryn Hill.
Okay, that makes sense. But just in closing with the Essence record, you know, it got a Grammy nomination that year, 2002, Best Rap Performance by a Duo Group, which was a blessing. And there was rumors about having conversations about a duet album. Like, we still have yet to get a Nas and AZ album. I think that would be a great thing for the culture.
Why do you think that never happened? Why do you think that never took place?
I think it's label politics because, you know, credibility-wise, artistry-wise, they're both respected in the same breath. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, AZ's career on a mainstream level, you know, arguably is not as comparable to Nas's. So it's like a thing where the record companies want to make sense of the monetization of a duet album. And, you know, what label's going to put it out, what kind of budget is going to be. I think that's the only thing that stopped him from doing an album. I mean, Nas is in a position as a label to do what he wants now, but back then it was different. You know what I'm saying? So I think the fact that A's out with a new project out that's doing really well, it'll open up those conversations again, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At this point, they should be able to do it now.
Bro, I got records waiting for that. I've had records for 10 years sitting, waiting for a duet album. Timeless records. I promise. I promise. So shout out to Nas and AZ. If y'all do an album together, I want in, and I'm going to kill that shit.
Yo, the streets want that bad. That
Nas definitely and want that.
Facts.
Collab album, the streets want that. Like, to the point where I remember DJs doing mixtapes, you know, like Nas and AZ, mixtape, you know, collab verses and collab songs. But the streets been calling for that. You know what I mean?
It's crazy because I've made records over the years with A that sometimes we would try to reserve to put Nas on. You know what I'm saying? When we did a song called Red Magic that came out like around 2014, he had a video for it. I sampled Brothers Johnson, Strawberry Letter 23. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We were trying to see about getting Nas on the record, but I forgot what he had going on at that time. I don't know if it was schedule conflicts or whatever. So, you know, A didn't want to wait too long and he just put the record out by himself. You know what I'm saying? But that's an example of us developing records just from our collaboration over the years as having that working relationship. And in some instances, we like part of, maybe put Nas on this record. Or,
people want that, the Nas and AZ, plus they want the firm as well. Because now you got Core Mega back acclimated. He's about to drop an album.
Yep. Shout to Mega.
Shout to Mega. So, man, we need all of that right now, especially for the climate of the elevation of hip hop at this point.
And speaking of that firm record that was on the King's Disease Part 1, you know what I'm saying, which was a good record. And it kind of opened up the conversation, you know what I'm saying? And I know A keeps in touch with Foxy, and you know he's always tapped in with everybody in the Firm family. And I know he was even working on, I believe, a documentary about it or something like that. But you know, I feel like that's still an unanswered question. You know what I mean? Like, can we have another Firm album? You know what I mean? Like the body of work they offered for the culture is classic. You know what I'm saying? So, and they all still around and healthy. So there's no reason why they can't just.
I mean, they did a dope record on Nas album.
King
What's the name of that album? King Disease One. I think it's called Full Circle.
Full Circle.
Exactly. Yep. I was just talking about that. Yep.
Man, that record is banging. You know what I'm saying? That was a dope joint. You know, they definitely need to pull off another Firm.
That's another example. I think A had a mean verse on that record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His verse was mean on that record. If you read between the lines, he's talking about relationships on a different level. You know what I'm saying? You know, like
he killed that.
I called him when that came out. I was like, bro, your verse. He said, everybody's calling me about this verse. I just threw that shit together. I said, dog, that verse is crazy. He was surprised people reacted to that verse the way they did.
Paul, at the same time, it feel like Nas is in the place where he like, look, go ahead, rock out, eat the track up. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, we're not in competition mode. We just like just putting out good music right now.
Because you know, clearly Nas in a space where he's expressing his art, but he's having fun with it because he's getting money. He's comfortable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely.
So
definitely. Get into some real paper, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Salute Nas
him for that, man. I'm really happy for everything he's doing. I didn't get to see the documentary that he just put out for Ralph McDaniels, but I hit him on Instagram. I hit him on Instagram like, yo, this is amazing. This is a power move for the culture. It's needed because these kids don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's so big for the culture. Like, I don't even think people really understand how big that is. Nas presenting Uncle Ralph video music box on Showtime, like. Because people don't understand, Uncle Ralph gave Nas a big shot when he put out his EPK on video music box. Like that was so big for Nas' career. That might have, the whole Illmatic.
And Ralph's production partner back then, Lionel Martin, directed. I think either Ain't Hard to Tell, probably Ain't Hard to Tell.
Hard to Tell. Video. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So they had a relationship back then. You know, so just seeing him paying it forward with the platforms he has now, I think it's amazing.
I think Nas, like, for me, like, lyrically, he's the GOAT, hands down. Like, that's, you can't even dispute that.
I cannot dispute that.
Bar for bar, like, it's not going to happen. I tell dudes, like, just cut it out. Like, it's not even go there.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Bar none. Younger generation or old, bar none. Facts.
Yeah, and me and the homie, we not even seeing eye to eye for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story. But in record, it's not a hater, you know what I mean? I just, I keep it so G'd up. But he got a one up on everybody by putting that Showtime documentary out with Uncle Ralph and Showtime. Like that right there, because you gotta think, Uncle Ralph helped everybody's career. And it's like, why nobody ain't giving Uncle Ralph that alley-oop that Uncle Ralph gave to them?
Yeah.
So for now, in 2021, that right there killed everything. So salute to him. Salute to Uncle Ralph. You know,
to Mass Appeal,
tell
all
people,
that. Showtime, all that.
Give kings their crowns.
Facts.
Say the flowers for the dead. Facts. All that we got to give dudes their flowers. Kill that. We never was on that time anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Men never gave other men roses. That was like always some like funny style ish, you know what I'm saying? My thing was always, we got to give kings their crowns. You digging them? So Nas gave Uncle Ralph his crown, a king. Another king gave another king his crown.
Well
so
salute to him, man. You know,
well deserved. Shout out to the whole video music box, his wife, Kev Lawrence, everybody over there. You know what I mean? So,
for sure. Shout out to Kev Lawrence. I ain't seen him in years.
My brother. You know, I mean, I spoke to him today, so salute.
Tell him I said what up. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. Let's talk about AZ since you brought up working with AZ and all that. Now, let's get into those sessions. What, like, bring us into that whole element of working with AZ. Like, from laying the track and actually him penning the verse. Let's get all that.
Absolutely. Well, for starters, since we mentioned the Essence, that was the first record I ever did for AZ on Asiatic. Yeah, that was the first time we worked together. You know what I'm saying? But on the strength of that record and the success of that album and getting a Grammy nomination, ever since then, whenever he works on music, I get the call.
Yo, we always gonna be best friends, man.
How you feel though?
Yeah, nigga, that's how I feel.
Alright, man, drop your location, man.
Hey, homie, where you at, man? Drop that location, man. I'm about to pull up on you.
Drop my location? Nigga, I'm about to send my addy right now, nigga. I'm about to... Alright, pull up.
You're the plug and such. You a joke's bound to happen if you slipping or you lacking. I'm gripping on the Mac 10, ready for the action. Shots will make you break dance and have you do a backspin. I got more kicks than karate flicks. My whole team pushing Maserati whips. You on IG liking thotty pics. Shorty pocket broke, but her body fixed. Peace, world. To promote your music or promote your business by placing an ad on MREC TV, contact MREC TV Promo, MRECK TV Promo at gmail.com. Peace. Oh yeah, subscribe to MREC TV, youtube.com/MREC TV. I'm gone. MREC TV. It's got a music.